The focus of this video is on the scheduler software block. Consider the following block diagram. We have two transaction sources that are sending their transactions to what is called the mapper block. The purpose of the mapper block is to send the transaction to the scheduler software block. And you can have multiple mapper blocks that send transactions to the same scheduler software block or different ones. The block parameters for the mapper block include the name of the scheduler, the task number, the priority of the task, the amount of time that it needs to be serviced within the scheduler itself, and then if you're working with plots, the actual plot ID. And in this first scheduler, first mapper, I am targeting or mapping it to the software scheduler with task number 1 and task priority 1. The second mapper basically has similar information. It will also send the transaction to the software scheduler, same one, but it has task number 2 and it has a higher priority, number 2. The scheduler software block, as you can see, has no input ports. This is because we have what's called a virtual connection between the mapper blocks and the scheduler software block. The scheduler software block takes all transactions that are sent to it via the mapper blocks, and then it can be configured before simulation with block parameter settings such as task context switching time, round robin slice time, the speed of the scheduler, the length, and then, as we'll see in a little bit, the different scheduler types. So let's assume I want to simulate a first come first serve scheduler type. So when I run the simulation, on the left hand plot here we have the fact that task number 1, which is the lower priority task, was serviced first, and then task number 2, which is the higher priority task, is serviced second. And that's appropriate for the first come first serve semantics. Now let us try changing the scheduler type to preemption. Preemption based upon the priority of the tasks. Running the simulation again, we see that the first task, which was of lower priority, is running, and then the second task, which comes in at time 1, preempts, and it starts running and runs to completion, and then the first task is then finished or completed. The final scheduler type is the round robin, and when we run the simulation we find that the first task will have round robin length of 0.5, so its slice is 0.5. At 0.5, the second task with the higher priority has not arrived yet, so it continues, and then the second task arrives, and so it gets the first slice, and the next task gets the next slice, and continues on until it completes. On the right-hand side is the text display of the transactions that have completed, and those refer to the transactions after they have finished in the software scheduler block, will be returned to the original mapper blocks and then forwarded to the rest of the diagram, and in this case it's forwarded to the text display. This ends our video on the scheduler software block.